Hello, and welcome to this grammar lesson. Today, we're going to talk about adjective clauses. We usually use adjective clauses for two things. First, we use them to identify a noun. This means that we give information that is essential to understand what noun we are talking about. Let's look at an example. If you take a look at the sentence, "This is the car," this is a very simple sentence. But if we want to make sure everyone knows what car we are talking about, we use an adjective clause. In this example, the adjective clause is "which I bought last weekend." And with this information, we can identify what car it is we are referring to. It is not any car. It is the car I bought last weekend. The other use for adjective clauses is when we want to give extra information that is very general about the noun we are talking about. Let's see another example. The sentence in this example, "Robert is my good friend," we can use an adjective clause to give extra information about the noun Robert. In this case, the extra information is "who is a great salesman." We will usually write the adjective clause right after the noun we are defining or describing. In this sentence, the noun is Robert. Also, please note that when we give extra information in the relative clause, it has to be between commas. We usually introduce adjective clauses using relative pronouns. We use the relative pronoun who to introduce relative clauses about people. The relative pronoun which serves to introduce clauses about things or places. That is the relative pronoun we use to introduce a relative clause about people or things. That is less formal than who or which. Finally, the relative pronoun whose is used to introduce relative clauses about possessions or relationships. Let's take a look at some examples. Here we have the main sentence, "Frodo is the hobbit," and the adjective clause, "who took the ring to Mordor." We use the relative pronoun who because the adjective clause is defining the noun hobbit. In this example, we use the relative pronoun which because the adjective clause is talking about the noun baseball. In the next example, the main sentence is "The Amazing Spider-Man is a comic." And then we define what comic we are talking about by using the adjective clause "that I really like." Now remember, we could also use the relative pronouns which, so we can say "The Amazing Spider-Man is a comic which I really like." In this example, the main sentence is "I know the kid." And the adjective clause is "whose skateboard got robbed." This clause is referring to the noun kid. The relative pronoun we use is whose because we want to show the skateboard is the possession of the kid. So, now you need to go on and do the exercises in the following pages.